ओके, सभी को, सभी दर्शकों को, सभी रांची वासियों को, सभी देशवासियों को और आज के एपिसोड में तो मैं यूं कहूंगा कि सभी अ, पृथ्वी वासियों को मेरा यानी मोहित चोपड़ा का नमस्कार। और रांची स्पीक्स के बहुत दिनों बाद प्रसारित होने वाले हमारे आज के एपिसोड में आपका स्वागत है। आज हमारे इस कार्यक्रम का 13वां अंक है और जैसा कि आपने हमारे पोस्टर में देखा था, इट इज अ ग्रैंड एपिसोड। वी आर हैविंग 4 गेस्ट्स विद अस टुडे। और आज का विषय भी आपने देखा होगा, बहुत ही अनूठा, बहुत ही अलग विषय है आज का। जी हाँ, हमारे पहले संस्करण में, हमारे पहले सीजन में 12 एपिसोडों में हमने अलग अलग सोशली रेलेवेंट इश्यूज पे बातें की। हमने पर्यावरण पे बातें की, हमने चाइल्ड राइट्स पे बातें की, हमने अ, जो है मतलब बहुत अलग अलग तरह के विभिन्न प्रकार के विषयों पे हमने चर्चा की। बहुत सारे हमारे इनपुट्स निकल के आए। आज का जो विषय है वो भी अ, कहें तो बच्चों से कहीं ना कहीं कनेक्टेड है। जी हाँ, आज हम डांस, मोटिवेशन और एजुकेशन में किस तरह से इसका रोल हो सकता है, हम इसके बारे में बातें करेंगे। और जैसा कि हमारा विषय है, आप कभी भी इंटरनेट पे जाएं, आप अगर डांस गूगल सर्च करते हैं तो रिजल्ट क्या आता है? सबसे पहला रिजल्ट जो आता है उसकी परिभाषा आती है कि नृत्य कुछ नहीं बल्कि अपने आप को अभिव्यक्त करने का एक तरीका है। और ये तब से शुरू हो जाता है जब से हम जन्म लेते हैं, जब से हम इस पृथ्वी पे आते हैं। और जन्म लेते ही जब हम हाथ पांव मार के अलग अलग चीजों के लिए इशारे करते हैं, ठीक वहीं से हमारा जो डांस करने का एक वो है, वो शुरू हो जाता है। तो हम तो भाई नौसिखिए हैं, तो डांस को वहीं तक जानते हैं, वहीं तक सीमित है। लेकिन हमारे साथ आज कुछ खास गेस्ट्स हैं जिनसे मैं आपका परिचय कराऊंगा। मैं अभी तक हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूं, आज का शो ज्यादातर हम इंग्लिश में सुनने वाले हैं। तो सभी आप तैयार हो जाएं। एक एक करके मैं अभी सभी मेहमानों का एक इंट्रोडक्शन आपके सामने रखूंगा और फिर आप सभी जानते हैं कि किस फॉर्मेट से ये शो चलता है। सर, सबसे पहले मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगा सीएसटीडी। सीएसटीडी आज आप बहुत बार सुनेंगे। क्या है सीएसटीडी? कॉमनवेल्थ सोसाइटी ऑफ टीचर्स ऑफ डांसिंग। सीएसटीडी एक समूह है जो डांस फॉर्म को बहुत अच्छे से बच्चों के अंदर इसको अ, जो डांस एक कला है उसको उनके अंदर डाल रहा है, और एजुकेशन में उसको किस तरह से रिलेट करता है वो आगे हम एपिसोड में जानेंगे। और उसी सीएसटीडी की स्थापना जो हुई वो सिंगापुर में हुई, और इस समय तत्कालीन उसकी अंतरराष्ट्रीय निदेशिका यानी उसकी इंटरनेशनल डायरेक्टर जो है वो हमारे साथ जुड़ी है, मिसेस डेबी मैकरिची हमारे साथ हैं। अगर मैं एक छोटा सा इनका बहुत संक्षेप में इनका परिचय दूं, हालांकि बहुत लंबी फहरिस्त है इनके परिचय की, तो लगभग 17 देशों में आज सीएसटीडी फंक्शन कर रहा है और ये सब इनके देख रेख में होता है। खुद की इनकी पढ़ाई पश्चिमी ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हुई है। इन्होंने टीचिंग में डिप्लोमा लिया है कैविन यूनिवर्सिटी से। और लगभग 4 जॉनर्स जो होते हैं डांस के उसमें इनकी महारत है। 1983 में इन्होंने अपनी पढ़ाई पूरी की और लगभग 94 वो साल था जब इन्होंने सीएसटीडी से ये जुड़ी, और उसके बाद ये उसको आगे लेके बढ़ी। और इनके साथ, इनके अलावा हमारे साथ आज रूबी कैवनाग जी जुड़ी हैं जो कि सिंगापुर से हैं और इस समय एडवाइजर के रूप में एशिया पैसिफिक रीजन में ये कार्यरत हैं। और इनका भी सहयोग जो है सीएसटीडी के लिए वो अतुलनीय है। बहुत ही शानदार ये काम कर रही हैं। मात्र 10 वर्ष की उम्र में ये नृत्य कला सीखने में निपुण हुई। 12 वर्षों में ये अपनी ही टीचर को असिस्ट करना इन्होंने शुरू किया और 16 वर्ष में इन्होंने अपने स्टूडियो की स्थापना की। तो हम एक बार दिल से डेबी मैम और रूबी मैम का स्वागत करना चाहते हैं आज के शो में। और साथ ही आज हमारे शो में हमारे ही शहर रांची से जुड़ी हैं प्रेरणा जी। प्रेरणा जी का जन्म और उनका शिक्षण ये दोनों ही रांची शहर में हुए। सेक्रेड हार्ट स्कूल से इन्होंने अपनी प्रारंभिक शिक्षा प्राप्त की और उसके बाद डीपीएस रांची से इन्होंने अपने आगे की पढ़ाई की, हायर एजुकेशन लिया। इसके बाद इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग इन्होंने बीआईटी सिंदरी से की, जिसके बाद इंजीनियर के तौर पे इन्होंने इन्फोसिस मैसूर में सर्व किया। उसके बाद इनका रुझान जो है वो समाज सेवा के प्रति हुआ, जिसके अंतर्गत इन्होंने टीच फॉर इंडिया के लिए अपनी सेवाएं दी। और यही वो समय था जब नृत्य कला में जो इनका स्नेह है, इनका प्रेम है, उसके कारण ये डांस एकेडमी इन्होंने द मूवमेंट स्टूडियो के नाम से शुरुआत उसकी की और तत्काल ये चेन्नई में द मूवमेंट स्टूडियो का संचालन कर रही हैं। हम दिल से स्वागत करना चाहेंगे प्रेरणा मैम आपका। और इसके साथ ही आज के हमारे जो चौथे गेस्ट हैं, किसी परिचय के मोहताज नहीं है, हमारे साथ फादर संजय केरकेट्टा हैं, जो कि प्रिंसिपल हैं सेंट जेवियर स्कूल के। एंड एज एन एजुकेशनिस्ट ये अपनी सेवाएं निरंतर हमारे शहर के लिए दे रहे हैं और एजुकेशन के साथ साथ एक समाज सेवी के रूप में भी बहुत सारे काम ये हमारे शहर रांची के लिए कर रहे हैं। तो फादर संजय, एक बार फिर से आपका स्वागत है हमारे शो। और आज फादर संजय की भूमिका थोड़ी अलग भी होने वाली है। आज ये हमारे साथ, मेरे और अतुल भाई के साथ आज ये कार्यक्रम के होस्ट के रूप में आपको दिखने वाले हैं। ज्यादा समय नहीं लेते हुए मैं स्वागत करना चाहूंगा हमारे कार्यक्रम के होस्ट का, और उसी के साथ मैं हैंड ओवर करना चाहूंगा अतुल गेरा जी को, द फाउंडर ऑफ रांची स्पीक्स। रांची स्पीक्स की शुरुआत करने वाले और समाज सेवा में अतुलनीय योगदान देने वाले अतुल गेरा जी का मैं एक बार फिर से स्वागत करना चाहूंगा। एंड ओवर टू यू अतुल गेरा जी। यस। अतुल भाई आप म्यूट हैं, आप कृपया अनम्यूट करें।
Sorry. Thank you so much, Mohit. And I think this is the first time we have 6 people together in Ranchi Speaks. And because Mohit welcomes everybody in Hindi. And so once again, a grand welcome from me and Mohit to Ms. Debbie, Ms. Ruby, Father Sanjay, Prerna. Thank you so much for being with us. So now, because we have a limited time and we would really want to jump upon the subject now. So before we come on the subject on which we really want to, know much deeper about dance movement and its relation with the education system and what it brings into our life, we would like to know what CSDT is. So I would request Miss Ruby from Singapore if she can elaborate and let us know what is this Commonwealth Society of Teachers of Dancing, so that people of Ranchi, people of India can really hear you loud and know more about it. Please.
Thank you so much, Atul, and good evening to everyone. And I'm just going to start with the background of CSTD and India, because we have a long history with India as well. CSTD is a non-government, not-for-profit organization, and we are committed to promoting love of dance, and we are truly dedicated in encouraging every individual to see dance as not only an art form, but also a recreational activity, and also professionally a vocation. And that is through a structured syllabi and an examination process, because we all know that quality education relies on the strength and knowledge of the teacher. So we're completely dedicated to promoting the teachers and professionally getting them into professional development courses and workshops, summer schools. And our work in India started in 1998 with a school in Chennai, and they started with 4 students. They started modern jazz and tap, and I think that's why they were attracted to CSTD, because we're multi-genre. we not only did classical ballet, we did modern jazz, we did tap, we did theatrical, we do contemporary, and we have this amazing Come Dance With Me for early childhood. So we have this variety of genres, also a wide age range, because we have like 3-year-olds right up to, well, in India, we had a 55-year-old candidate for exam. Amazing. And we've seen like the first exam session in Chennai was 1998, we had the first school. In 1999, they had 90 students. And to develop this level of structure and examination and training, we started to introduce the classical ballet 2 years ago. And now we've seen over 3,000, 5,000 students for the last 24 years. And from Chennai, we've gone into Mumbai, we're in Pune, and we're in New Delhi. And now we're so excited to be here in Ranchi. And I would like to now say as well, we also had 5, and Miss Debbie will, our international director, will talk about teachers' qualifications. We had 5 teachers qualify for their teaching certificate and teaching diploma in 2013 in Chennai. And these teachers have gone out to open up their own schools and run very successful dance schools. And that's where I think Miss Debbie is going to talk about the endless possibilities where CSTD can offer to not only the children, but I think to the young people who want to take dance as a career. And I like to let Miss Debbie take it from here. Thank you very much.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much. And I think it's a pleasure to hear from you all and, to get deeper into what dance gives to an individual. So coming to Ms. Debbie, yes. So, ma'am, tell us, a very basic question, what is the significance of dance?
Okay. The big
Yes.
thing is we need, as educators, we need to consider dance as being holistic. So when we talk about dance, we can't just be focused on steps, routines, and movement. We need to be focused on music appreciation, creativity, drama, song, Bollywood. There is a whole opportunity through dance to integrate all cultures. Dance has no cultural, political, or social boundary unless we create it. And that's not the philosophy that we have as a society. So it's about providing opportunities for children, primarily through education, because education is their window to opportunity.
Right. So I think now, because we have Father Sanjay here, Father Sanjay is principal in one of the most known, popular, one of the good schools of Ranchi, St. Xavier School, Doranda. So, Father, we would like you to come in and your view about how this dance has importance as being part of the curriculum. And do you, as if we don't have a curriculum, dance as a part of curriculum right now, but how do you see this as in your view about it? And do you see Ranchi as a future bringing this into the curriculum as part of education?
First of all, thank you for inviting me. I hope everybody is able to hear me.
Yes,
certainly
yes.
We can, Father. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to underline that I am a tribal. I am a grassroots tribal, and I am born in a village. And for the tribals like us, it is said that for us, speaking is singing and walking is dancing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So right from year one, I have been dancing in akhada. We call it akhada, the dancing place, or even the meeting place, or whatever you may call it, but not in the form of ways that you have been talking about, ballet or Bharatnatyam or whatever forms of dances, but our own tribal dances. I used to, as a very small kid, I used to sit on our instrument when they used to play, and I used to enjoy that. And the moment of enjoyment was so much. Every Thursday and Sunday in villages, we used to have that kind of enjoyment. So I knew dance only as an enjoyment, entertainment. But today we are talking even about profession.
Yes.
So, Ruby and Devi, I would like to know, and especially Prerna. Prerna, I have met quite often, especially these 2 3 months. Uh, Let us say, if I would have liked to be a professional dancer in the form of tribal music and dance, how would I have made my profession rather than an educationist? Certainly, even as an educationist, I can have it as a curriculum today, so that students do not concentrate only from the point of academic or the different curriculum activities that we talk about, but even this dance becomes a very part of our life. And as I said, I was dancing right from uh, as I was 1 year old. Let us say if I throw a question, a 3 year old girl, how would she make, or a 3 year old boy, how would he make uh, dancing as a profession, and he can earn right from the beginning, from the point of view of profession?
I think, Father, that as an educationalist, you'll appreciate that education has both intrinsic and extrinsic values. So I think what dance brings is both. In terms of the intrinsic values, we're talking about discipline, we're talking about resilience, we're talking about perseverance and retention. In terms of the extrinsic educational values, that comes through, and I don't care. As an educationalist myself, children like structure. They feel safe and they feel secure when there's a structure. So if we offer them that dance through a structured syllabi and we scaffold their learning, then we allow them to reach and aim for ambitions. So when you ask me, how do you make a career out of dancing? I'll give you a couple of examples, okay? And these are international examples, not Australian examples, okay? But at the moment, we have kids from Australia. When I say kids, I'm talking about young adults at 19, 20 who have come through our system and done our teaching diploma. They're now full-time employed in Singapore. We have Filipinos who've come through our system now working in Hong Kong. We have so many opportunities that we can offer kids that come through our system. So I see dance as a vehicle to endless opportunity, to employment, to social mobility, to travel. But it starts with igniting that passion. And that passion has to come through the structure, and schools are the best place for structure.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that's a very valid, I think a very focused, I think, approach towards how dance needs to be introduced in our life. And I think the most structured way would be a school. And
Absolutely.
and exactly, yes. So I would like to come.
I think it's also important to recognise, and I hope India's ready to take that step. But if I look at it globally, and that's my job as the international director, dance in Australia is part of the national curriculum framework. Dance in Singapore is embraced by the MOE. Our exams conducted in Hong Kong are run through the Hong Kong Education and Examination Authority. Our partnerships are with Hong Kong Academy of Performing Arts, where every one of their kids that are coming through doing our course will come out not only with their graduate tertiary certificate, but also our teaching diploma, which means they can open their own business.
Wow.
We've done that.
Wow.
We've done a same partnership, largely corporate social responsibility and at very limited cost, but we've done a similar deal with Rufa in Cambodia. So I just think it comes with the mindset, and it's going to come through people like father, you know, that are going to have to be the driving force. We need to take that step. India needs to embrace dance. In Australia, for example, if I'm doing my final year 12 exam, I can take dance as a legal subject. Okay? So it holds as much weight as English, geography, political science. Dance sits in that frame.
Wow, I think this is, something which still needs to be brought into the system, and needs, I think, high time it needs to be brought strongly. Coming to Prerna, yes, she's the Ranchi girl here. Tell us about your experience. Your experience now, you were brought up in Ranchi, studied in Ranchi, then you had a career in dance in Chennai, and now you are in Ranchi for some days. Tell us your experience about it, your career, and how you see dance as a profession.
So I will speak about two things here. One, building on what Ms. Debbie said about mindsets. And I think that's step one, is to embrace dance and arts in general as part of our life, as part of our curriculum, which has been missing, at least when I was growing up. And even now, I don't see it present in school curriculum as well placed as it should be. So I would like to speak one on the mindsets and the odds that were presented to me and would be presented to even children of today if they decide to take dancing as a career, or even to just explore creativity, whether or not they take it as career. And the second would be about how I set things up in Chennai and how Miss Ruby and Miss Debbie have been a part of that journey. So growing up here, which was like 20 years ago, there's a lot of resistance to dance as arts, and there's a lot of fighting that has happened, a lot of the mindset that I had to face from everyone around me. There's a lot of fight. And the thing is, I have never given up. I knew at 8 that I wanted to dance, and I knew I had to get out of Ranchi to do that. So that's what I did. I became an engineer. I went out, and then I worked really hard, saved my own money, and I went to a city with no money, no family, no friends, no support structure whatsoever. And I built it from scratch. Now, networking was a part of it, and meeting key people at the right time was a part of it. But the most important thing was to not give up, to just keep trying. And I think because I kept trying, one more day, one step at a time, I met Miss Ruby, and I got a lot of help from her, a lot of encouragement and motivation, and you can do this, and essential guidance at the right time. Like, I've always wanted to pursue contemporary dance, but I did not have a good foundation in ballet at that time. And she said, Prerna, return to ballet, get your foundation right, and then approach contemporary, which is precisely what I've done. Then I've learned the importance of strength and conditioning in dancers, and I've started taking that up as a course so I can help young dancers reduce their risk of injuries, and if they do get injured, how to get back quickly from it. So safe dance practices, that's something at CSTD we talk about a lot. So I think that has become an area of interest for me because I took up dancing so late. So I started my journey with CSTD started at the age of 26. What I want for the children of Ranchi is to start it as young as 3, or even at 13 or 14. And if we have people like Father Sanjay and other principals on our side, we can actually do it. Miss Debbie and Miss Ruby have access to curriculum. They have the knowledge, and I also have some of it, not as much as them though. But yes, so we need to pursue the government to take an interest in it, in bringing Western dance, yes, technical aspects of it, and the syllabi that is already there, And I know that the children are very interested, so we bring it to them. We bring it to all children, and especially to those 10 or 20% who can go on to develop careers in it. And then also how to use it as layering on top of indigenous dance styles that we already have. Like Father Sanjay spoke about the akharas. And when I was judging the competition at St. Xavier's School, and I saw those 5 or 6 absolutely lovely performances by the tribals of this land, I had tears in my eyes. And I also realized that how much loss of connection has happened, because I wish I knew more about it when I was growing up. So we need to preserve the tradition, and we need to bring new things to Ranchi as well. And we need to present Ranchi to the outside world as well. So it's incoming, outgoing, it's holistic development. So that's one. The second part that I wanted to talk about was setting up my studio in Chennai. It was a lot of struggle. Like this would be for the audience in Ranchi. Nothing comes easy. You have to have a vision, and you have to have a commitment towards that vision. And no matter the odds, whether you're hungry or starving or you don't have money or support, everything becomes secondary to the pursuit of that vision. And that's what, now when I look back, people ask me, how did you do all of that? I don't know how I did it. It's just that I took it one day at a time, and I just didn't give up. So CSTD has been a big part of my journey. The syllabus that I offer at my studio and some of the schools in Chennai are from CSTD. It's ready-made, excellent material. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel. We already have syllabi in classical ballet, modern jazz, and I can use those techniques in, say, if I'm teaching Bollywood, or I can mix it up with Bharatanatyam, the national dances. And CSTD does provide stage to even that. It's not like exclusively or forcing something on the local culture. Absolutely not. So yeah, those are the 2 important things I wanted to talk about. Yeah.
Can I quickly jump in here? I'm
Yes,
so
please,
sorry.
please.
Quickly jump in there, because I know Prerna professionally since 2014, and Prerna has this amazing vision. But I'm going to say this: why she succeeded, and it's so important, is because she had focus. And that's what she had. She had focus, and she knew exactly what she wanted, and she knew she had to learn technique. She needed the structure to get on to the next level, to help the children. And that's why she's successful. And that's why she is determined to get a structured syllabi and framework into the schools, because that's the only way, as Miss Debbie said, we scaffold and move up the level. There's no
Also, Ruby, I think it's really important. The one thing I really admire about Prerna is she's proudly from Ranchi.
Exactly.
And Ranchi should be equally proud of her. And the other thing I want to say is our syllabus, this is about fusion. It's not about Western replacing tribal, we have national dance as part of our curriculum, okay? So it's about fusion. It's about dance. Look, dance knows no language. Dance is universal. It doesn't speak. It knows no boundaries other than those that we want to place on it. And I think Ranchi should be so proud of the beautiful girl that Prerna is, and what a wonderful ambassador she is for your state.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you, Ms. Debbie. That's generous.
Yes.
Ranchi is in very good hands.
Surely, Miss Debbie, Miss Ruby, Ranchi is proud of her. And going forward, while I was discussing with Miss Ruby a day back, I think she was telling me something that in colleges where highest classes, when we wanted to, prepare students for interviews when they are about to go for their jobs. So one thing what was proposed is not to get them, training for those interviews, but get them coaching for dance. Because it helps in improving a lot of postures and your personality and a lot of other things what you require in your daily life, to enhance your overall personality. And dance is one way to do it. So, Ms. Debbie, if you can just elaborate a little on that.
Oh, absolutely. Dance is about movement, and it's about space. It's also about confidence. It's about presence. It's about having a persona. It's about entering a room and owning the space. So many of our young ones come to a job or whatever, and they walk in almost apologizing for being them. A dancer walks in and it's a stage. They walk in, they own it. They're there and they're giving a performance for their life. A life performance, I call it.
Exactly. And Miss Debbie, remember we had Latin American classes in one of the top Singapore girls' school, and the principal called us in and said, "Look, I want you to teach the level 1 and level 2 secondary girls Latin dance, and because I want them to walk into an interview room, and I want them to have that right body language and to represent the company the way they should." So when they had their assessment and the girls used to come out of the room and says, "Mrs. Kavanagh, could I do that? Can I do that exam again, that cha-cha again?" And I said, "I'm sorry, darling, you only get one chance to do it. And it's just like an interview. You get that one chance. So how you walk in, and it's just not about dancing, isn't it, Miss Debbie? The examiner will ask, "Darling, how are you today, this morning? What are you doing for us? What are you going to show me?" So it also is about how they talk, how they deliver the knowledge of what they learned. And so that is all part of gearing towards that interview, because the moment you step into the room, you're already being interviewed.
So Atul, it's lifelong learning. Dance is about lifelong learning, and the things that you learn, your carriage, your posture, your presence, your confidence, your ability to communicate, that's lifelong learning. That goes well beyond dance.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes, Father.
Yes, Father, please.
I'm very proud of all of you, and very delighted to hear new things as well as old things newly said. But one of the things which we suffer, that is, even today our society in Ranchi is quite traditional in terms of our thinking, in terms of our conceptions, and so on. For example, one of the best dances that we had this time, especially for our competition, she cried before me because the father and mother did not allow her to dance with the boys because she will be touched with the boy. So how do we come out of these taboos?
Oh, Father, we do it gradually. And because I work internationally, you will understand that I have to make many, many, many changes. So in our Muslim countries, for example, I have different exam wear. For our Latin program in those countries that don't allow it, well, the girls dance together. They dance a female and a male role. But eventually, Father, India, like the rest of the world, will come to this century. And that's why I say from the beginning, the education starts with those 3-year-olds and there's those parents. That's where we start. We start because with those children and those parents, then we'll get the next generation and the next generation who will never, and I don't think they ever should, forget their cultural heritage, never for 1 minute. But what we need them to do is to be open to change.
Can we not see in our generation?
I think you will, Father. I think with people like you being the visionaries, I think we're in very good hands. The conversation starts here. It starts here, And it starts with the people that are listening to us. And it starts with those young teachers coming through so that they teach a different mindset. And those young children that we teach as 3-year-olds, they come through to be the next generation of parents. So every generation becomes a little bit more liberal.
Exactly. And I personally also feel that once the society respects the structured forms more than unstructured, or, so once
Look,
it becomes
Atul,
someday a part of it.
Exams are very important. Exams are validation.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Absolutely.
validation.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
through a structured process and a formal assessment, parents see it not just as they're off having fun doing something recreational, but they
Right.
see validation in an educational outcome. And when we validate that, then the parents come on board a bit more. And, Father Sanjay, the other thing we can do is, we can eventually, we can do a little competition, and we have a boys section, a girls section, and then a mixed section. We bring them together or we have the boys section, the girls section, and then we get someone like Prerna just to do a little number at the end, a little fun number, and they see their boys have danced, they see their girls have danced, then they see them having fun, and hopefully it will make their hearts sing.
Yeah, I think incremental changes is the way forward, and to keep presenting despite the resistance, we work with what we have, and we build generation to generation certain changes, like Ms. Debbie said.
And I think mentorship of the teachers is critical.
Yes.
We have to, I always, because I work a lot with the teachers now in my organizer role. And if we take care of the teachers, we know that they're going to take care of the children. And that's important. And to start with also, we're talking about structured examination. I, as a teacher, know that we have to teach children that there must be a beginning and there must be an end. The
children love structure. Yes. Absolutely. It's secure. It's their blanket. Yeah. It's like, Father, when you ring the bell in the morning, you ring the bell for lunch, and you ring the bell at the end of the day. The children know the sequence. It signals to them how the day is operating, and children find security. It's like when people say to me, like, what does a 3-year-old learn from dancing? Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you.
Right.
Well, I can, if you like.
I think very well placed, Ms. Debbie. And I think while we are also, entering the, again, the COVID, what we call the fear space, the India is again back into that COVID thing, and in fact the country. And I feel coming to the COVID times, I think even when we talk about COVID or in the normal days, I think dance has so much relevance to our good health also, So I think when we talk about strength, when we talk about fitness, and dance is one thing, I think what it gives to one's body is a lot of good health. It does a lot of de-stressing. And I think this aspect is also very, very important. And especially when we discuss about this COVID time, when people are locked down into their homes, and a lot of time we forget to dance even. I mean, dance as a part of exercise also. So I think
it's not just physical exercise, it's mental, it's emotional, and it's spiritual.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what we have managed to do, and it hasn't been easy, I would be a liar if I said it was easy, but we haven't. We've actually adapted. So in most of our international countries, we do Zoom exams, right? But the kids feel like the examiner's there. They can see her, she can talk to them. We've adapted a syllabus for kids that are in confined space, little stuff that they can do in a bathroom if they have to, because we have to make it accessible to everyone, and everyone's circumstances are different, and every country's requirements are different. So we can't make dance exclusive. It's got to be inclusive, adaptable and flexible.
Right. Yes, so true, so true. It's not only about physical, it's a lot about mental, emotional, and spiritual. Exactly. And I think this is how people, those who are fond of dancing and those who get into it, get so much de-stress and so much, a lot of happiness which comes out of it. So coming back to Prerna. So from here, how do you look forward? As in, you have been trying with schools and you have been in touch with Father Sanjay, your own school, Sacred Heart. So how do you look forward, as in what initial steps you really feel that should be taken to, advocate or facilitate dance as a part of curriculum in schools in Ranchi?
Okay, so in Ranchi, we do not have this in school as curriculum at all. We still see it as an extracurricular activity which children pursue at leisure if they have the money, the means, and so on. My vision would be to have dance be as part of their weekly routine in school, just as PE is, just as math is, just as languages are. So, and they should be graded, although that could be made optional. So what I've seen in Chennai is that it has already started in a few international schools, but I don't see any purity of technique there yet. So what they call Western dance could just be an adaptation of the local style or Bollywood. It's not pure hip hop, it's not pure ballet or jazz, or there's no foundational teaching that is rooted in history of dance itself, which is very important for a teacher to know and to inform their classes. So that is missing. There's one school where I have seen very excellent work being done. It's the objective is dance for all children. It's a curriculum that comes from the US. So the teacher is just implementing that curriculum. It's a huge hit. All children, regardless of their natural ability in dance, or regardless of their interest in dance, have benefited from it and they absolutely love it. That is the kind of thing I would like to bring into the schools in Ranchi, not just in private schools, but also in government schools. And to be informed in both Hindi and English. Thankfully, I know both. So yes, so what I would want to be done is, so we have, say, a classroom of 10 students. And all children love dancing. All children love structure, movement, music. It's universal. Out of 10, say 2 of them can have the potential and the interest to go on to become great artists. Something like CSTD can be, syllabi can be adapted to all 10 kids, and specifically for the 2 kids later on in life, as they, we scaffold their education and move them up through the grades, give them opportunities to, for examination and competitions, and get them into professional careers as well. Like, I have a career in dance now, and I'm looking to hire people. This is how it grows. This is how the industry grows, and people, end of the day, about making money. Yes, people do make money out of dancing as well. It's sometimes more than engineers and MBA grads do, trust me. So there is a lot of scope. So yes, to bring in dance into the school curriculum, have it as part of their syllabus, and those who are interested to be examined and take it further, yes, we conduct exams for them. For that, CSTD can send in examiners in the future. So my vision is a 5-year, 10-year vision over time. So like you said, one of the first points of resistance is mindset. But we don't have to engage with every single parent out there. We have to engage with the principals. And if we have the principals and teachers on our side, and if we can keep educating them and showing them the value of what we bring, eventually parents will get convinced. And when they see that the children love it and benefit from it mentally, spiritually, emotionally, it's such a great outlet for any kind of frustration and angst. I'm sure they will also eventually get into the idea, and then it becomes a normal thing. And once it's normalized, there's no looking back.
And Prerna, I think people like Father Sanjay bring so much to it because he has a passion, he has a vision, and he is an educationalist. So he understands the intrinsic values and the extrinsic values. And it doesn't matter if 8 out of those 10 kids that come into that class don't go on to dance, their fine motor, their gross motor skills, their music appreciation, everyone will walk away being a winner. No one loses here. Yes. No one loses. Every child takes away a bonus.
Yeah, so true. So true, so true.
Father Sanjay is absolutely committed to more liberal educational system that is universal, holistic, and beyond whatever has been done so far. And I know he's been fighting a lot of mindsets that is already there in Ranchi.
But look, I will say we are not for profit. And I will say, as the international director, I'm committed to a trial, to an experiment. You know, I will pay for you to go in there for a few hours, Prerna, and have a, you know, have a feel, have a talk to, like, it's not about money. We're not for profit. We're about vision. We're about dance. We're about dance being the global language. So
Yes.
I think from my point of view, Atul, my point of view is that I would like for Ranchi, for Prerna and Father Sanjay to have a discussion, have a little go, have a little workshop, have a bit of fun, make it fun, make it fun. Spend a couple of hours with the kids. I'll pay for those couple of hours, but have a bit of fun and see how the kids feel. And then, Father, I want you to look at the parents when the kids come out and tell them what a good time they had, because that's what matters.
And I think we are going to have Ruby, Debbie, and Prerna together, and we'll have fun.
We'll love to come in. We'll love to come in. Doctors, Father Sanjay, can I say something? Because
yes.
I worked in schools in Singapore for about 30, 40 years. And I've been into schools where the principal called me in and says, Ruby, what can you do for me? And I said, I really want to do something for all the children, the boys and the girls, because we always get the girls. And then we will get only the ones with the financial priorities, you know, but I want to have everyone. So I said, can we go in and do dance and PE? Let us come in for 6 lessons and do dance and PE for all the children. And they just charge like $2 a class, and the school sponsors $1. And we went in and we did this. And at the end, everyone loved it, including the boys, and including the boys who never had come, including the children who had no money. And I used to see children sitting out of class, and I said, why aren't they in the PE? Why are they not? Because they do not have money for their PE uniform. I said, tell me how much. Tell me how many children need PE lessons. Let me pay for it. And so, and at the end of all those PE lessons, we went in, and Miss Debbie always give us the opportunity to do this in the schools, to go in, and we do a career talk to the children. And I said, right, we're all not going to be dance teachers. It doesn't matter. But I know somebody there is going to be a costumer. And I know that person is going to understand that I'm going to put this material on this girl because I know how it's going to flow. Because I danced before, I had the opportunity. Also, I know someone out there, 10 children, one is going to be a lighting expert, and he's going to work in the theater because he understands what is happening in choreography, all that lines and direction. He's going to know. And I know somebody who's going to make all those props because he's going to understand. I'm going to put 4 people on that box, and then he's going to calculate and work the physics out on how he's going to build that box and the weight and what material and you know, all the specification. And that is why the schools get CSTD to come in, because we're committed
It's not
to
just about dancers. It's not just about dancers, it's about the whole artistic sphere.
Exactly.
Right. So true.
And,
so true.
And
I think,
yes.
Yeah, please.
I'm hoping that we have the opportunity to see, hopefully to see a video of how a CSTD teacher teach and deliver. And
Father's got a question, Ruby.
Oh, sorry, Father.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to ask, um, with the help of somebody and with the suggestion of one of the teams in Mumbai called Adhyayan, uh, they told me as to how you teach geography or chemistry or whatever subject through gardening. So why, I'm just suggesting, why can't we teach physics or other dimensional activities of different subjects, even through dance?
We can, Father. It's actually done as part of curriculum in many countries. It's completely possible. There's a book in +2 that I had in physics. I got it from the library, Resnick and Halliday. And one of the first pictures on it was of a ballerina doing a grand jeté, which is a split in the air. And it was talking about the transfer of momentum.
Yes.
And even when you're talking about holding certain poses in ballet, about the forces of opposition, that's physics again, and about how the muscles in our body work, how the liver system work, liver 1, 2, and 3, and how most joints in the body work on third-class livers. There's plenty of physics.
Not just physics. And Prerna, you would know through our anatomy, you're doing all your biology, your human biology. We're doing joints and movement and safe dance practice, like minimizing stress, you know.
My 6-year-old can tell you that there are 4 muscles in your quadriceps. They can't name all 4, but they call it quadriceps. They don't say front of the thighs. And it's good. I teach them. Yeah.
Yes, because they're clever. They're clever. They're very clever.
Say quadriceps, like trying to say it out, and it's so sweet.
They're very clever. And that's why teachers are important. Mentorship of teachers is critical, very critical.
Right. So true. And says so much to learn, and it's wonderful hearing you all. So I think we are very close to our closure. I would like to come back to Mohit because he's also attending the live session going on, and if he has a couple of questions which has come from audiences who have been hearing us. So Mohit,
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Atul Gera. Today, the number of questions are very less, very few, but there are a lot of suggestions coming in. A lot of parents, are writing that they want dance to be included in the curriculum.
Excellent.
So, but for sure, there is one question that I'm going to ask Debbie. It is for her. Like there is a question from a parent that she's saying she writes that it doesn't it get difficult sometimes to handle children, like you in your statement you said that you're teaching children's, so doesn't it become difficult to handle children, because most of the time
No, it doesn't, because we teach our teachers student management. Ask Father, it's no different running a dance class than running a classroom. And it comes back to children's expectations. It's why an examination structure is so important, because children like routine. Routine makes them safe. So they like to walk into the room and do the greeting. They like to know they're going to do this, 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 this. And then at the end of it, we're going to say thank you, curtsy, and exit the room. They find safety in structure. And we spend a lot of time, and Prerna will tell you this, we spend a lot of time on protocol, on kids having a routine. And in routine comes good behaviour management.
And also the 4 E's that CSTD is built on. That's where management comes in, because we believe in enjoyment,
education, encouragement,
yes, and expression. And all this is a good mix to how we manage children. And honestly, all we have to do is just a tone to tell the children. We don't shout, but we have very clear instructions and clear respect for a child, and the child has clear respect for the teacher. And that's where discipline comes in. And we teach children also to look at little details. Dancers look at details. We're very clear about details. And that's how we manage everything, including behavior. And they learn it. And we come back again to mentorship.
Teachers, having great teachers, teaching teachers. But if you've got, you know, Father Sanjay, if you've got a really, really good PE teacher with a passion for dance and Prerna goes in, she can help skill that teacher enough for an enjoyment class, not a CSTD exam class, but enough to start that mindset change, to see dance as part of the day, part of the school day.
I have taught in schools and in Chennai and met several schools there. And for some, it was part of the curriculum. And when I would walk into the class, no matter how naughty a child was or how disinterested in other subjects, for dance, they were already on time. By the time I counted from 10 to 5, I would not have to read one. They would be in position. So it's about setting expectations on day one and following through with it and setting a structure in class, because children find safety in that. So they know what to expect and to get them excited. And dance is about expression. So when you're allowing a child the space for expression, they're not going to be that much of a trouble anyway.
Well, that's why two of our 4 E's are expression and enjoyment. The other one is encouragement. And along with that comes education, because education should embrace all of those principles. Shouldn't matter whether we're doing maths, dance, English, Hindi, geography, or we should all as educators embrace those principles.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much. I'm sure they must have got their answer. And we also have a video right now with us, and we would love to play it for all of you, for all the viewers out here watching us. And you will get to know how CSTD has been working, how the Movement Studio has been working. So, so here is the video. We'll play it for you.
Look up, slowly go down. 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And catch my money. 3, 2, 1, up. Very good, but up on your toes. And my last one is we're running. But you're doing the steps. So you go step, ball change. Yeah? 6, 7, 8. Step, ball change, step across, unfold and jump, step across, unfold and jump, step across, unfold and jump. Okay? Yeah? So that's bounce, bounce, jump, bounce. This way. Bounce, 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 jump, bounce. 1 push. Okay, did you see how hard she had to push to get herself to push backwards off the wall? Yes. Okay, can you try that again? And her body is not, she's not sticking her bottom out, is she? She's perfectly straight. Ready? Tight tummy, like you felt doing the scissors. 3, 2, 1, push. Very good. And I want you to point those legs as hard as you can. All right, good girl. Standing up, I need another volunteer.
Okay, so that was the video, and I'm sure looking at that, we get to know that how much the kids loved being there. Absolutely. So with that, we are on the verge of coming to an end of the show. I would like to go back to Atul Gera. Atul Gera, you are the host of the show. I would like to invite you to sum up today's session for all the viewers and also for Thanksgiving. Yeah, over to
Yes,
you.
I think if we can, closely sum up, is dance is something which brings so much values, discipline, dignity, and it can de-stress you, brings a lot of fitness, help you, give a lot of boost in you, and emotional boost, mental peace, and it's one way what Prerna so soundly mentioned. It's one way to, an outlet to take out all your frustration. And it's a very beautiful thing, which you can really, bring a lot of joy and happiness and agility, strength in your life, by getting into this form and loving this form. But all will happen when it can be beautifully structured in a school curriculum, and that's the way it can be brought to a bigger mass, brought to a lot of children who are into schools. So we have Father Sanjay, and who was so much on our side, and in consent with what Miss Debbie and Miss Ruby and Prerna had to say. So I think it could be a good start, because we haven't been talking about this as a dance being part of the curriculum in our schools, but today would be a start for this. And because there are a lot of people watching us, a lot of other schools, faculties, teachers watching this, and also asking Father and having his suggestion on that, why isn't this can be started from your school. So I think that's a good way when when you have an ownership of something, because you are there part of the program and in consent with the subject. So Father here comes with a little more responsibility with the subject. So I think everyone would be in one mind when it comes to dance, and people know its importance and how it brings what transformations and what it brings to one's life. So with this, Miss Debbie from Australia, thank you so much. Namaste from India.
I'm very
Great session.
privileged to have been invited to join you,
It's
and
all pleasure.
I am very happy to support Prerna and Father Sanjay in let's getting beyond the conversation. Conversations are great and they're a good starting point, but beyond the conversation needs to come action.
Yes.
And I will support Prerna and Father Sanjay in getting that into the next step.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, the committed words. Thank you so much, Miss Ruby from Singapore. I think
my pleasure to have this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we always are, so happy to have Father Sanjay on our side. Father Sanjay, thank you again so much for bringing so much strength to this whole discussion. And thank you so much, Prerna. I think it happened because of you and Father, and we couldn't have brought this subject, to the masses. So thank you, everybody, and namaste from India.
As I always say, Atul, dance is a journey. It's not a destination. And today we've commenced the journey for Ranchi, and it's where Prerna, Father Sanjay, myself and Ruby find an opportunity to move it forward. But my door is open and I'm keen to support and encourage.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.